At 2 in the morning, his phone lights up with a single word from his brother: leave. He pulls back the curtain and the far edge of the city is glowing. It isn't sunrise. The grid failed 3 days ago. Tonight the water pressure died and the city finally understood. He has maybe an hour before 400,000 people wake up and fight over the same 4 roads out. In the next room, his daughter is asleep, and every choice he makes in the next hour decides her life. Most people who die fleeing a collapsing city die from the same 5 mistakes. He knows the list. Walk it with him. Mistake 1 kills the most people, and it feels like the safest thing in the world: waiting. Half the city is waiting for someone official to say the word. The word always comes late. Evacuation orders are written for lawyers, not for families. By the time they come, the roads are already parking lots. He doesn't wait. He wakes her gently, puts the red backpack on her shoulders, and tells her it's an adventure. She's 7, she believes him. That lie will keep her calm for the next 6 hours, and calm is survival. The first hour after a trigger event is a gift. The streets are still empty, and everyone else is still deciding. He learned it from the storms. The people who left on the first forecast drove out on empty roads. The ones who waited for the mandatory order spent the storm in their cars, on a bridge, in the wind. So rule 1 is brutal and simple. When the water dies, you leave, not tomorrow, that hour. He tops up the tank from the red can he stored 2 years ago, back when his neighbors called it paranoia. Mistake 2 waits at the end of his street, whispering that it's the fastest way out, the highway. Every navigation app, every instinct, and every other driver is about to funnel into the same 6 lanes. He rolls up to the overpass and looks down once, red brake lights as far as the eye can see. It looks like traffic. It isn't. It's a parking lot that will never move again. 1 stalled truck, 1 empty tank somewhere in the middle, and 6 lanes become a wall. By morning, the people down there will be walking, carrying children among 10,000 strangers. He turns the wheel away from the ramp, and his daughter asks why they aren't going with everyone else. Because everyone else is the problem, sweetheart. He says it kindly. It's still the truth. He takes the old county road, the one that dies into gravel. 2 lanes nobody remembers. It adds 40 minutes on a normal day. Tonight it saves their lives because it's empty. Rail lines, canal paths, the ugly forgotten roads. In a collapse, ugly means alive. He mapped 3 ways out years ago on paper because paper doesn't need a signal. Mistake 3 is already strapped to the roofs of half the cars in that jam. Everything. People pack what they love, survivors pack what they need. The difference is measured in hours. A television has never saved a life. 3 liters of water a day, every single day, always has. His whole plan fits in 2 bags. Water, a filter, food that needs no cooking, warm layers, the red kit, the map. His daughter carries her own small pack, light enough to run with, warm enough to sleep in. The heaviest thing you can carry out of a dying city is the stuff you couldn't leave behind. He once watched a man drag a rolling suitcase for 3 miles in the flood year. It held photo albums and a game console. The suitcase made him slow, slow made him last, and last is where the crowd closes over you. If you can't carry it up a hill at a jog, it isn't luggage, it's an anchor. Cars die and roads close. In the end, every evacuation becomes a walk, pack for the walk. Mistake 4 is shining, the loaded roof rack and the bright flashlight swung around like a beacon. A packed car says one thing to a desperate street: this family still has everything you no longer have. By night 3, the checkpoints aren't police anymore. He sees the flare from a distance and turns 2 blocks early, calm and boring. The gray man rule his father taught him: look poor and tired, look like nothing worth stopping. His jacket is old, the car is dirty on purpose. The good gear rides under a blanket that looks like laundry. His daughter knows the quiet game, no lights and voices like mice until daddy says. Light discipline isn't paranoia, a single white beam sweeping a field reads for miles in a dead dark world. He uses the red lamp when he must. Red light carries a fraction of the distance, and it keeps his night eyes alive. Noise is light for the ears, the generator hum or a door slammed in a dead silent street. The loudest, brightest, richest-looking family on the road is writing an invitation. Invisible is not cowardly. Invisible is how her story gets to have more chapters. Mistake 5 is the one nobody admits to, fleeing to nowhere. Half that highway doesn't have a destination, they have a direction, away. Away is not a place. Away has no beds and no walls when the rain starts. And the woods everyone plans to live off, the woods can't feed a city. They can barely feed a squirrel through winter. He isn't fleeing from something, he is driving to something. His brother's farm, 60 miles north. The plan is 4 years old, fuel for double the distance, 3 routes, a promise between brothers. If you have nobody 60 miles out, make that call this week. Family, or an old friend with a well and a spare floor. A destination changes everything. It turns panic into a route, and a route into a plan her legs can follow. They have rally points too. If we're ever split up, you walk to the white church and you wait for me there. She can say the address of the farm like a nursery rhyme. He drilled it into her at bedtime as a game. That rhyme is worth more than everything in the city behind them. Because gear gets lost and cars get taken, but a plan that lives in a child's head walks out on its own feet. Dawn finds them on the last gravel mile, and the farm rises out of the gray like a held breath let go. His brother stands in the yard with a lantern, and for 1 second the man lets himself shake. Behind them, 60 miles south, a column of smoke lanes over the place where their whole life was. The 5 mistakes are still working through that crowd on the highway. They will work all week. He didn't outsmart the collapse. He just refused the obvious errors 1 hour before everyone else. Leaving at the first hard sign, back when leaving still felt like overreacting. Choosing the empty, ugly road over the fast, full one. Carrying water instead of memories and letting the rest of it go without him. Being the most forgettable thing on the road, on a night when being noticed was lethal. And knowing before the first siren exactly which door 60 miles away would open for them. 5 mistakes, 5 choices, all of them made long before the phone buzzed at 2 in the morning. So look at your own map tonight. Find your ugly road and the 60-mile door that would open for you. Because cities don't announce when they're done. They just go quiet, one service at a time. And when yours goes quiet, you'll have 1 hour, a sleeping child, and a choice. If this made you check your fuel or your map even once, subscribe. The next one might be the hour that matters.